It was a Saturday morning, and the sun was already high above the sleepy streets of Ibadan. Wale sat on the edge of his bed, staring blankly at his phone. A single message from his girlfriend, Tola, buzzed on the screen. "We need to talk." "And? Talk about what again?" Wale muttered to himself, scratching his head. His roommate, Kunle, was busy getting dressed to head out. "Omo, Nawafayuo, is it not the same 'we need to talk' that always means trouble?" Wale sighed deeply. "I don't even know what I did wrong this time." Kunle shrugged, adjusting his shirt. "Just see her first before you start thinking too much." Later that day, Wale met Tola at their usual spot, a small buka that served the best amala in the area. But Tola wasn't ordering food, and her eyes didn't meet his as they usually did. "Tola, what's wrong?" Wale asked, leaning forward. I think I need some space," Tola said softly, fiddling with her bracelet. Wale's heart skipped. "Space? Why? What did I do?" "It's not you, Wale. I just need to figure out some things," she replied, her voice distant as if her mind was somewhere else entirely. Wale returned to his apartment, lost in thought. Kunle was lounging on the couch, streaming something on his phone. "Ogo, what's the matter? You look like you've seen a ghost." "She said she needs space, Kunle." "Space? What does that even mean?" Wale dropped heavily into a chair, sighing. Kunle chuckled. "Space usually means something is going on that you don't know about." He paused, then added, "I hope it's not another guy." Wale scoffed. "It can't be. Tola is not like that." Okay, Kunle said, a touch of doubt in his voice. Over the next few days, Wale couldn't shake the feeling that things weren't right. He noticed Tola had stopped replying to his messages as quickly as before. Worse still, she'd stopped sharing photos from her day, something she used to do religiously. One evening, while scrolling through social media, Wale came across a live stream notification. It was from Faye, Tola's roommate. Faye was laughing, talking about some secret she promised to reveal. Curious, Wale clicked to watch. "Everyone, you won't believe what I'm about to tell you." Faye giggled mischievously into the camera. "My roommate has been seeing someone behind her boyfriend's back. And the guy is loaded, eh?" She winked, speaking with a gleam of unrestrained excitement. Wale's heart dropped. "No, this can't be Tola," he whispered to himself. He listened, his mind racing as she described the boyfriend, who was so in love he didn't see what was happening right under his nose. Kunle entered the room to find Wale sitting on the floor, his face white as a sheet. "Wale, what happened?" "I think Tola is seeing someone else," Wale managed to say, his voice barely audible. Kunle raised his eyebrows, then watched the live stream replay on Wale's phone. "Omo, this is serious, What are you going to do?" Wale shook his head, swallowing heavily. I have to talk to her." The next day, Wale caught up with Tola on her way back from class. She was surprised to see him. "Wale, what are you doing here?" she asked, her eyes darting around nervously. "We need to talk," Wale said firmly. "And not the kind of talk you had in mind. Is it true? Are you seeing someone else?" Tola looked away, unable to keep his gaze. Her silence hit Wale harder than any words ever could. "Just tell me the truth, Tola," Wale pleaded, feeling a sharp pain in his chest. Tola took a deep breath, finally meeting his eyes. "Wale, I didn't mean for you to find out like this." "So it's true? After everything you—" Wale's voice cracked, struggling to hold back tears. "I'm sorry, Wale. I just thought I needed something different," Tola said, her voice a small whisper. Wale walked away from Tola, feeling a mix of anger and heartbreak. He could barely think straight. Back at the apartment, he slammed the door and started pacing. Kunle watched him quietly before finally asking, "What's your plan now?" Wale paused, his mind swirling with thoughts of betrayal. "I have to prove that I'm not just some fool," he muttered, clenching his fists. Kunle nodded. "Whatever you decide, I day your back, my guy." As Wale lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, a plan began to form in his mind. He wasn't going to confront the other guy or even start a fight. Instead, he would show Tola and everyone else just who they had underestimated. He would become the kind of man nobody ever doubted or cheated on again. And somewhere, in the back of his mind, a small but fierce fire began to burn. The next day, Wale threw himself into his work like never before. He started showing up early at his job in the bank and soon caught the attention of his supervisor. "You've been performing well lately, Wale. Keep it up, and you might just become team leader," his boss remarked during a meeting. "Thank you, sir. I won't disappoint," Wale promised, determined to prove himself. Meanwhile, Tola's absence left a gap in his life that Wale began to fill with purpose. He joined a local gym, starting to work on both his physical and mental strength. Kunle, true to his word, joined him for moral support. "Omo, we go show them what we're made of," he laughed, lifting weights while encouraging Wale. Wale grinned, feeling his confidence grow. He wasn't doing this just for revenge. He was doing it for himself. One night, as Wale relaxed at home, Kunle suddenly exclaimed, "Wale, come see this." In the live stream, Faye was at it again, this time hinting at new trouble in paradise. "Big news! The new guy just ghosted my friend. What a twist, Shah." Wale felt a grim satisfaction. It seemed karma was already at work. Finally, months later, as Wale stood in the office elevator, his phone buzzed. It was Tola. "Wale, can we meet? I need to talk to you. Please," her message read. Wale stared at the screen, emotion churning inside him. But before the elevator doors opened, he simply replied, "Let's see." He knew he was ready for whatever came next. The weekend arrived, and as Wale walked into the cafe to meet Tola, he felt a calm confidence. Tola sat waiting, a look of regret etched on her face. "While I've made a terrible mistake, I was hoping we could try again," she said, nearly pleading. Wale nodded slowly, heart pounding. Before he could respond, the cafe TV flickered with another unexpected live stream. Faye, once more, had messages to share. "Guess who just hit a new high at work, maybe even a promotion? Our very own superhero, no more drama needed." Surprisingly, Tola glanced up at the screen, then back at Wale, her eyes widening with realization. Wale sat opposite Tola, both enveloped in an awkward silence, their eyes occasionally meeting before drifting away. The cafe hummed with life around them, oblivious to the quiet storm brewing at their table. "You look well, Wale." Tola broke the silence, her voice tentative. Wale nodded, maintaining his calm veneer. "I learned to focus on things that matter." Their conversation was interrupted by the barista, and as Tola stirred her coffee, Wale watched the spoon's gentle rotations and felt the past swirl back into his thoughts. He recalled the nights they laughed here, carefree and in love, but those memories felt distant now, like remnants of a lifetime ago. "Tola," Wale began, a layer of pain seeping into his voice. "Why did you really ask to meet? I'm not the same man you left." "I know," Tola replied, her voice barely a whisper. "That's why I'm here. I can see how I hurt you, but I've realized I made a mistake. Can we try again?" Wale stayed silent, his heart conflicted. Part of him ached to forgive, but another part, the one that burned with betrayal, held him back. Just then, the cafe's door chimed open, and Faye walked in, laughing with a group of friends, unaware of the storm she helped ignite months ago. "Tola," Wale finally said, "I can't deny the pain you caused me, but do you know what's changed? I've learned that sometimes letting go is better than holding on to something that's hurtful." Tola's eyes filled with regret, and she nodded slowly. "I understand if you can't forgive me. I just needed you to know how sorry I am." Faye's laughter reached their table, and Wale glanced towards her, reminded of the catalyst to his transformation. A pang of bitterness pierced through, but as he looked back at Tola, something softened within him. "Apologies are a start, Tola," Wale said gently, "but forgiveness isn't just for you, it's for me too." This admission seemed to surprise Tola, and in that moment, Wale realized it was a truth he hadn't acknowledged until now. As they talked, Wale's phone buzzed. It was a message from his younger sister, Sadeh. Haruna, the youth pastor, said something during church. "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." Wale read the text twice, feeling its truth echo in his heart. It was like a window opening, letting in fresh air he'd been holding his breath against. "Do you remember my sister, Sade?" Wale asked, a small smile playing at the corner of his mouth. Tola nodded, seemingly grateful for a lighter subject. "Yes, she's such a bright girl. She texted me something profound just now," Wale mused, looking thoughtfully at Tola. "Anger is poison, Tola, and surprisingly, I think I'm ready to stop drinking it." The accessibility of such wisdom from a child reminded them both of the innocence they once shared. Before things became complicated and hurtful, Tola reached out, touching his hand gently. "Wale, whatever you decide, know that I am genuinely sorry for everything." Her sincerity touched something deep within him, and he realized that the arduous journey he'd undertaken wasn't just about proving himself, it was about finding peace amidst chaos. "Thank you, Tola," he said finally, a sense of catharsis washing over him. "It's time I let go." Later, as Wale walked back alone, he felt lighter. The path through the park was laced with shades of evening, and he breathed deeply, the air filled with the scent of blooming flowers. He thought of the scripture his mother used to read. "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." A soft, undeniable warmth anchored him, a reassurance that wasn't present before. Arriving home, Wale found Kunle in the living room, studying intently. Kunle looked up, surprised. "How did it go?" Wale shrugged, a smile slowly forming. "Unexpectedly healing." Kunle nodded, understanding. "Man, you've come far. I'm proud of you." "Thanks. I owe a lot to you and faith," Wale said, the word hanging in the air with a significance he no longer resisted. Kunle stood, clasping Wale's shoulder. "You know, sometime we should go to church together. I hear Haruna's sermons are something else." Wale chuckled, feeling the tension ebb away. "Yeah, maybe we should." As they settled into a comfortable silence, Wale realized that he had finally embraced not just his new self, but the possibility of redemption. That Sunday, Wale found himself sitting next to Kunle and Sade in the church, the hymns washing over him with a sense of quiet power. Pastor Haruna spoke passionately about forgiveness, and though Wale listened to the words with an openness he hadn't known before, it was the presence of community and shared belief that truly moved him. After the service, as the congregation milled around, Wale felt a comforting peace. He overheard his mother's familiar voice, and he turned, seeing her approaching him with a warm smile. "Mom," Wale greeted her with surprising emotion, feeling the presence of familial love and strength around him. "Wale, I've been meaning to talk to you about Tola," she said warmly. "I heard she reached out. How did it go?" "It's a new beginning, Mom," Wale replied, meaning every word. "Not maybe for us as a couple, but for me. For both of us, I hope." His mother beamed, shining with pride. "I'm glad you're finding peace, my son. That's the most important thing." As they left the church, Wale felt a quiet resolve settle within him. The past was a part of him, a teacher that had shown him despair, resilience, and ultimately, redemption. Kunle slapped him on the back jovially. "Let's go home, our superstar." The journey back was filled with laughter and lightness, a reflection of the transformation lingering in Wale's heart. He knew life wouldn't suddenly become perfect, but he had chosen faith over revenge, grace over anger, and it had paved the way for something miraculous. A future where anything was possible. Forgiveness is not weakness, but warfare, he thought silently, reinforced by the joy of new beginnings. The window of their apartment looked out over Ibadan's sprawling cityscape bathed in golden sunset, and as Wale gazed at it, he found hope, not in erasure of scars, but in the peace of their acceptance. In the living room, Kunle placed a delicate, hand-carved cross atop the mantel, a silent testament to faith embraced over turmoil and heartache. Wale looked at it and smiled, feeling that for all the uncertainty that lay ahead, he was not alone. With Christ's peace, he was home.
Thank you so much for listening to this intriguing story. I hope it touched you or taught you something. For more stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. And guys, if you'd like to see a part 2 or you have thoughts on what happened, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.